Most of us never really think about how we communicate and what the most effective approach is, and also potentially how our own personal preferred communication style differs from other people that we communicate with. So this model, based on the work of William Moulton Marsden, talks about dividing people into sort of four main categories. So it's basically just a model that combines a number of different elements from other previous models, but it can be useful in just simply identifying how you like to communicate and what works for you versus what may work for other people. So one type is someone who is the blue type analyzer, someone who is very process oriented, is interested in facts and figures and systems and logical steps, planning and forecasting and analysis and control. So this person, if this is your preferred style, this sort of information will come to you naturally. But if it's not natural to you, this may be information that you may need to start building into what it is that you talk about. So, for instance, hard measures of projects that you were on, or benefits that were gained, or money that was saved, or market share that was gained. So all of that information is really relevant to someone who is an analyzer. So that will come naturally to you if you're that type, but it's worth thinking about if someone who you're speaking with is an analyzer and that's what they're interested in. The red type is a director, so someone who is very action oriented. They're interested in getting things done, what was it that you set out to achieve and did you achieve it, making decisions and I suppose showing initiative and action. So it's again important to get that across if that doesn't come naturally to you and you're speaking to someone. And quite often people in management roles have elements of this. So it's really important to say, well, I set out to do this and this is how I went about it and this was the result that was obtained. In the green corner we have someone who is very people oriented. So these people will be interested in needs and motivations, feelings, values, and emotions. So again, if you're talking about applying for a job, talking about why it is that you think that it's a good company to work for, what your values are, how they potentially match with the company and so on. So that's important to some people. And then finally, the socializer, so the yellow type, so someone who's very idea oriented, so creative, intuitive, looks at new ways of doing things, and is interested in kind of the big picture. So it's important, if whichever of those is your preferred style, and usually people have one preferred style and possibly a second one. It doesn't mean you can't do all of them, because obviously you'll be a more effective communicator if you build in elements of all of those. But I suppose recognising, for instance, if you work with somebody who is a director and that's not your natural style, usually over time you develop the skill of giving them information in the way they like it. So it'll be short and sharp and sweet and to the point. So it's just about, I suppose, where possible, recognising the way that other people like to communicate and where possible building some of those elements into how you naturally communicate. So think about whether you recognise your own primary style, and if you have a primary style, maybe you even have a secondary style that influences that a little bit as well. And if you were going to meet somebody at an event or even in an interview, what things could you do to enhance how you communicate that would make it more effective if you met them?